All right, guys, thank you all so much for coming. I'm Brad Jackson from Jackson Audio. Today we have a product we're going to talk about called the Asabi. We released the Asabi about a year ago, but due to the COVID thing we're all dealing with right now, we couldn't bring our guy in, so he's here today. Would you please give a warm welcome to Mateus Asato. Kill it.
Good morning, guys. How's it going? All right. Good. Delay on?
Yeah. Awesome. Amazing. Mateus, thank you so much for coming in. He flew in from South America to be here, so it means a lot that he came in. He was supposed to be here last week, but some guy named Bruno Mars called, and he took his call and not mine. But we're happy to have him just the same. So, all right, let's talk about the Asabi. The Asabi is an overdrive. It's a distortion pedal. It's two completely separate circuits in one enclosure. What you just heard was the overdrive section. So before I jump into it, I want to show you some things that it does. If you want to program for different clipping options, you can press and hold the drive foot switch. If you see an LED flashing on any of our products, it means you're in programming mode and you're about to modify something. So currently, we're in the green mode. When I think green, like they said earlier, what do you think about when you think about green on a guitar pedal? It's a tube screamer, right? There you go. So it's compressed. It's got that kind of mid bump to it, which is great for sticking out in a mix. So it sounds a lot like this. It's really easy to do this when someone like Mateus is playing. It makes everything sound good. So if you want to go to the next sound, hit the button one more time. It goes to the blue mode, which is symmetrical clipping using 4 diodes. It sounds very much like you'd find in a Timmy. So. right, the next one, if you click it one more time, it goes to the magenta mode, which is like a king of tone kind of a thing. Give it up, that was awesome. All right, the fourth mode on the overdrive side, click it one more time. It goes to the amber mode. What that is for us, I'm thinking vintage Marshalls, like the amber indicator like you'd see on a vintage Marshall. So it's very open, uncompressed. Awesome. All right, so that's the overdrive side. Does a lot of good things. Let's talk about the distortion side. The distortion side of the Asabi is based on a JCM 800, and I have to be honest and say it's probably the hardest project we ever worked on as a company because there's so much gain in one package that you have a distortion side that's really high gain and an overdrive side that can get really high gain. And when you have that much gain in one enclosure, they start to crosstalk and squeal, and you can't live with that. At least I can't. I can't release a product to a customer that you can make squeal and freak out. So it took us a couple years to really dial it in, but the biggest problem we had was trying to get stuff back and forth to Brazil during a pandemic. So we would make changes over like FaceTime, like how does it sound? Do you like this? That's okay, it's cool. Let's hear it. So we'd send it down, wait months. We wouldn't hear anything for months, and then sometimes you just wouldn't hear anything at all. So we had some packages go missing over the months, but we were moving stuff around. So some little kid or somebody in Brazil has contraband products from ours, but it's all good. We got it worked out. It's a great sounding distortion. Like I said, it's a JCM 800 thing. It's got the 4 clipping diode options that we just showed you on the overdrive side. Let's hear those real quick. Right now we have the magenta mode, which is again open, uncompressed, kind of a Marshall vibes. All right, we'll go through some of the clipping diode options on this as well. It's important to note, if you notice that as I've moved through the clipping diode options, there hasn't been a dramatic level change. Well, it's because we designed that in because as a kid, I remember I'd have products that have a switch on it so you could change between clipping modes and that kind of stuff on pedals. And as you flip those switches, typically you'd get a really big volume drop or boost depending on which type of clipping diode you had selected. Well, I fixed that by putting a level matching circuit. So as you change stuff, it automatically level matches your signal. So given that this is a MIDI controllable pedal, you want to be able to put this in a big battleship sized pedal board, cycle through changes and have your level stay consistent. It makes it way more friendly for a live environment. So the next one, click it one more time, go to the green mode. Again, compressed, a little bit of a mid bump. I'll just keep going through this and we'll keep melting our faces off. All right, blue mode, let's try that one. Symmetrical, it's like Timmy style clipping. All right, the next one's the magenta mode. It's very chewy, it's a great rhythm sound. It's awesome as always, Mateus. All right, let me show you one last feature on the distortion side. Okay, so when I was a kid, I grew up playing guitar a lot in different bands. And you learn to do the thing where you're playing guitar, you need to change your sound, so you stand on one foot. And you try to manipulate the volume control with your right foot. What else? I've been, yeah. So we try to solve that problem. It's 2021, let's use technology to solve some of these problems that kind of befall all of us. So check this out. The gain knob on the Asabi, that is your maximum gain of wherever you set it, which makes sense, right? So wherever you set the gain should be the maximum. But what you can do is this. If I press both foot switches at the same time, check out what happens to the LED. It keeps getting brighter. It goes back to dim. So right now we're 25% gain of wherever that knob is set. That's the most dim setting. So check that out. Press them both. Now there's 50% gain. There's 75% gain. And finally, I went too far. There you go, 100%. And it's amazing. And you can stack them both, overdrive into the distortion. Awesome.
That's
right.
my favorite mode, by the way.
Yeah. All right, that is the Asabi. If you buy this pedal, you'll sound just like this guy right here. So it's even got his face in the box, so basically it's a guaranteed. So let's hear how it sounds without the Asabi. Asabi's on. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to save people time. You don't need to rehearse, you don't need to practice. You just need to buy gear and you will sound better. That's my message, all right? All right. Guys, thank y'all so much for your time today. It is an honor to be here. It's always a pleasure to be in the big house with you guys. Mateus is a dear friend of ours. We love him so much. Thank you so much for coming all the way from Brazil just to be here for us. All right, we got a couple minutes left, so please, let's hear something. Thank you, Mateus. Thank you all so much for coming. I'm Brad Jackson, Jackson Audio. Have a great day.